peace and good afternoon, family. My name is Vie Darling, the Cosmic Queen and your intergalactic interpreter, and I just want you to get a look at this shirt. Today is April the 13th, and this just coming in after April 12th, which my astral insights marked as the storm. And we know that big things have been being exposed in terms of the people who do this sort of thing over the course of the past few months, but especially in the last few days. So I would really encourage you guys to go into my TikTok shop and order this shirt, because I think that people need to know what we are and are not about. And also, I just want to say that proceeds from this shirt are going to be going to organizations that help to stop the, this stuff from going on. You understand what I mean? So we're actually just going to do a quick pull from some cards. I have not yet used this deck. It's from, I believe it's said 𝗪cie. This deck I'm going to be using. It's called, it's a gratitude deck, today's word with 𝗪cie. I just got it. I'm super grateful. You can find her on TikTok with this name. And frankly, I haven't even charged this deck, so maybe it's not the best time to use it. Let's get into a deck that I don't have to rip open the plastic to get into. We're going to do the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. So I do want to say that what's going on collectively in the world, if you are somebody who has been struggling emotionally, mentally, physically, even spiritually, it's not forever. It's not forever. And in fact, I know you probably have heard this over and over. It's coming to an end, but it is. The only way out is through. And by moving through it, instead of staying stuck, we are going to come out the other side better than ever before. That's what alchemy is all about. So I want to just impart that upon you and understand that this Mercury retrograde also coincides with the fact that Pluto is right now turning retrograde. So it's going to be stationing retrograde within the next month. That's bringing a lot of contentious energy. It's also eclipse season. We're in the shadow period of eclipse season closing out, and this was a really big, powerful eclipse. So one thing that I want to say is, it's not like you're alone. You're not alone in experiencing the challenges and the triggers, but you are well equipped to transcend them. Right now, people are going to be trying to get you caught up in karmic traps, as I like to call them, divine traps. People from your past are probably going to be popping up, trying to get you to step outside of your sovereignty, perhaps being disrespectful, trying to start conflict with you, trying to get you wrapped up in chaos. Do not pay them any mind. Honestly, if you're the kind of person who all you have to do in life is to start problems with people, then let me tell you something, you're a broke ass bee. Whether or not you have money in the material or not, you're spiritually broke, you're spiritually destitute, and that's not a cute look. We don't associate with people like that. When we are self-sovereign, when we know that we're chosen ones, when we know that we're blessed up and sanctified, we don't engage with people like that, because all they're trying to do is to bring us down and get us stuck in the doldrums and lower vibrations so that we cannot achieve what it is we're supposed to achieve. Now, I know that the people who are going to come across this video, whether you're watching it when I'm recording it or you're watching it when I post it to YouTube, I know that you're not the kind of person who gets caught up in all of that. So just bear that in mind when these people are bringing chaos and contention to your door and BS and conflict to your door. You don't have to answer. They may ring your doorbell and it doesn't matter, because you're not home. You're not available for any of that. Okay? the age of light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Understand that whatever issues that you are coming up against right now, you've been training for this for lifetimes. You know how to handle it. And in fact, in this lifetime, in this incarnation, you probably have been through so many lifetimes. You know what I mean? I feel like even in the past 4 years, I've been through a different lifetime, a new lifetime every year. It's just like constantly leveling up, constantly changing, constantly growing, and it's exhausting. You know what I mean? And the reality of the matter is a lot of people, they don't actually experience that. They learn one lesson in their lifetime and that's it. But here you are learning lesson after lesson after lesson. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's also an exhausting thing. It's a trying thing. These are the trials and tribulations, but they help us to grow into the people that we're meant to be. Okay, so trust and believe that you've been preparing for this for lifetimes. You came to this world at this time for a reason. It's not because, what am I saying? It's not by accident that you came here at the changing of the ages. You came here to be a part of a mission. You are a part of a spiritual team and you are not alone in this mission. So don't ever buy into that. Don't ever let anyone make you believe that you are just here for nothing, really. No, don't ever let anyone make you believe that you were just born to work a 9-to-5 job that is below your skill level and get paid less than enough to make ends meet. Don't ever let anyone make you think that that is something worth settling for, because it's not. People play in our faces every day and try to convince us that that should be enough for us. Don't ever let anybody make you think that that's enough. Okay, I'm seeing the number 88. This is about change. This is about power. This is about transformation. This is about divine inheritance, and that is what's coming in for you because of all of the work that you've done, all of the alchemical work that you've done on yourself, and therein you've done that for your bloodline. You've done that for your community. You've done that for the collective. Okay, so understand that you have done a lot. You put in the work. All right, and you deserve something back, and it's coming to you. Have no fear about that, okay? We get the pillar of light in the reverse position. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. I do sense that some people are getting clenched up and they're not allowing the energy that's coming in to flow through them. When I started this live, I was myself a little bit clenched up because I just started doing lives this month and it's a little bit nerve-wracking, you know what I mean? But I decided when I sensed that in my body, I sensed it in my heart space, in my high heart chakra, especially in my throat chakra. I opened up my root chakra and I released, and I decided whatever comes through me is whatever needs to be heard. I don't need to figure it out. I don't need to know the answers. I am a channel. I am a messenger for the divine. That's what I'm doing here. So I just need to do what feels natural and express whatever comes to me instead of, trying to be the smartest or the best or whatever. The message is going to be carried to who it's meant to be carried to. It's going to be received. You have to understand that about yourself as well. Okay? What you are experiencing in the 3D is not necessarily what you are experiencing in the realm of consciousness, in the realm of spirit, in the unseen realms. Because the 3D reality is actually the slowest and lowest of realities. It's the slowest and lowest of vibrations. Literally, it's the third dimension. We're talking about if our consciousness is in the fourth dimension, in order for things that are in our consciousness to manifest in the material, it has to slow down. It has to be processed to a slower, density, let's say, because that's what dimensions and densities are. Okay, it has to be slowed down. So we have to process this through our mental space, through our emotional space, and through our causal energy in order to manifest it and to materialize it. Block, confirm, thank you very much. So, pillar of light, your vibration is rising, you are the oracle. If you are concerned about you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. You're not feeling like you're experiencing the fruits of your labor. I'm going to actually cleanse real quick. I don't care about what just happened, but my body is like feeling like, woo, about it. So please feel free to join me in taking a deep cleansing and grounding breath. I'm going to do 3. Okay, and I feel like that's exactly how we need to deal with any of the energy that's coming at us that's trying to make us feel out of sorts. Anybody who's coming into our space, into our energy, into our electromagnetic field, who's trying to get us off our game, don't even respond to any of that. Block, pull cords, cleanse your energy, get grounded, get back in your body, into your sovereignty, and keep it pushing. Who cares? Like I said, if you are somebody who has to go around acting a fool and being idiotic, I actually just feel really sorry for you, because that's humiliating and embarrassing. And I don't want to be somebody who goes around humiliating and embarrassing myself. This is why we don't associate or interact with those kinds of people. And like I said, it is Mercury retrograde. So you may have already cut off some of the people who are trying to bring energy to your door, and they may be coming back and apologizing and saying that, they're so sorry for the way that they treated you. They're so sorry and they've changed. And you might feel like, I don't believe that this person has changed. They're saying all of the things, and they may be presenting evidence to us, tangible evidence and proof, but the energy isn't matching up. And I would say, trust your gut instinct. You can forgive this person and you can accept their apology without actually ever choosing to interact with them again. And that's something that's a little bit hard for people to understand and internalize, but that's just what it is. You have to be willing to honor your own energy and honor your feelings. Even if they have changed, if you don't want to be in relation to them, you don't have to be. You don't have to interact with anyone that you don't want to. You don't have to be around anyone that you don't want to. You have power. You have dominion over your life. You are the sovereign of your life. And you may have had people in the past make you feel that that's not true. And you may have had people in the past making you think otherwise. But they had to do that because they themselves felt powerless. And that's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry for them. But that's not our problem. You understand? I understand that I speak to a collective of people who are healing from enmeshment dynamics, who are healing from the trauma of being around dark triad personalities, energy vampires, and being preyed upon. And you might think, well, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. It's something that's wrong with them. Stop internalizing everything around you as being about you. Not everything that's going on around you, not everything that's outside of you is really about you. A lot of that stuff is about them. You are a healing force. That's what you have to understand. And as I like to say in the practice of cosmic wellness, which I am pioneering here in the Aetherium, if I'm a pot of honey and I'm put in the middle of a field, everything's gonna come for that honey. The bees, the flies, the ants, the honey badger, the bears, and even the people. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna come for the honey. Do I sit here and be like, oh, it's the honey's fault that the ants came for it because it was in the middle of the field? The honey shouldn't have been. No. It's natural for the ants to come for the pot of honey. But take that as your God nugget. Take that as your divine sacred energy, the divine spark that lives within you, your essence, your eternal light and energy. That's that pot of honey. that high heart chakra fountain of youth. Everybody wants a taste because they're sick and they know that you got the juice, you got the goods. So what has to happen? You, as the sovereign of your life, as the person with the agency, let's call you the agent and actor of sovereignty in your life, scoop up that pot of honey and take it inside. Take it in the house where the ants, and put it where the ants are not going to be able to get to it. You know what I mean? In a glass container, perhaps. Take it where the bears are not going to be able to get to it. The bees are not going to be able to get to it. Take that jar of honey and put it somewhere safe. And you have to start seeing your own energy in this way. You understand? You have to start seeing your own energy, your own selfhood, your own life force as being that precious, because that's what it is to your creator. And I'm not talking about your parents, because they are fallible. The ineffable force that created you, that we connect, that unknowable level of consciousness created you fearfully and wonderfully. We don't even understand consciousness, let alone how life comes to be. You have to start understanding how precious you are. You have to start treating yourself as precious. And then you're probably going to have a lot fewer energy vampires siphoning your energy. If the ants can't reach the jar of honey, how are the ants going to get into the honey? They're not going to be able to. You feel me? So you need to take your life force in the vessel that it's in. Consider your vessel. Take your life force and put it behind a glass container. Those are your boundaries. Those are the standards and structures built upon a foundation of unconditional love. I'm having throat chakra stuff coming up. There are things that you need to say that you haven't said to certain people. And I'm getting that this is in your life right now. It's not people from the past who may have hurt you and you feel like, oh, I got to say something to them. No, there are people in your life right now. I am sensing that for some people, it's a romantic relationship. I'm sensing that for other people, it is a platonic relationship, or like a sister or brother, a sibling relationship. But I'm not getting the sense that it's like, it could be parents, but more so I'm getting like social relationships to people who are our own age, like our own social group, right? I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. I am getting that it's people like our I want to say compatriots, but that's not the right word. The point that I'm making is there are people that you need to speak to and tell them the truth. There are things that you've realized that you haven't told them yet. And the reason that you're waiting is because you're afraid of the changes that are going to come from you telling them. Why are you afraid of getting what you want? I understand for some people it might be because when you expressed your needs when you were younger, you were faced with punishment and retribution. So you were indoctrinated and your mind was poisoned to believe that confirmation burp. Your mind was poisoned to believe that if you asked for your needs to be met, if you demanded anything, if you even expressed your needs, that you were going to face punishment and brutality for some of you. I can relate to this, you know, when I would like ask, like, oh, what's for dinner? I would be told pork ass and cabbages in a very like rude way, as if to say like I shouldn't be asking like what's for dinner because I'm hungry and I'm a child, you know what I mean? And these kinds of things, like, or if I ask for something, like I'd be told like, how am I gonna get, or like, can I have this thing with what, rocks, in terms of like how it's gonna be paid for. And this instilled in me like hyper independence. I'm not gonna ask for anything because I'm not gonna have somebody disrespecting me and coming at me crazy and coming at me sideways. Because if I clap back, I'm gonna experience even worse, more brutal punishment. Number one. Number two, like this instills a poverty mindset. Like simple ass things that I should not feel afraid or unable to get, to acquire. It's like, oh, how am I going to pay for this? Like, I don't know how I would ever pay for this. And it's simple ass stuff. You feel me? That is how we internalize poverty consciousness. I had to go through really rigorous experiences to be able to stop thinking that it would be, it would be a Sisyphean, or like a Herculean feat in order for me to get the things that I need. And I have been thinking about Hercules a lot today. I have said and thought of Herculean feats today. So I think that there's a message in that as well. I'm looking at my water filter and it's like a third of the way full. What I'm picking up on is that this relationship that you have stayed in is only filling you up a third of the way. You are over investing in whatever relationship that this is, and you're afraid to say anything about it because you're afraid that that person is going to leave you. I also get the sense that you are like settling for less than what you need. It's not about what you deserve. You deserve to have your needs met. You are not put on earth to not have your needs met. Every single person on earth deserves to have their needs met. Understand that much, okay? Let's get into it. I don't want to hear or I don't want to see anybody talking about like, oh, like I deserve. No, fuck out of here with the deserving. It's about getting your needs met. And it's not just about physical needs. Oh, I need food. No, let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yes, we need our physiological needs met. That's the bottom tier of the pyramid. Then we need our social needs met. We need our emotional needs met. And the tip of the pyramid is self-actualization. Do you understand how hard it is to self-actualize? And then we have people, content creators on here all the time talking about like, how you need to be more and you need to be, like a millionaire by the time that you're 27. And this is the things that keeping you poor. And this is why this, that, and the third. And it's like, yo, if we live in a system that exploits us and that is literally built to keep us from getting our physiological and emotional needs met, our intellectual needs met, in order to keep us from self-actualizing, stop blaming those who are being victimized. It's not our choice to be born into these systems, just like it's not our choice to be born into families that are going to abuse us. And I understand that the spiritual community likes to be like, oh yeah, well, you did choose this when you were born. We knew it was possible. It wasn't a promise that it would happen because everyone has free will. And if you saw, I did a live like a couple weeks ago, I think, or it may have been a reading that I did, but essentially I posted on here so you can go and look through my TikTok, and I've been uploading my lives onto YouTube as well, and find this information. But what I said was like, there are a lot of us who are we are our family's karma, because some of us, it was a TikTok I made. Some of us, our parents are like, they had the same mission that we had, and we were their karmic test and they failed that test. And so whatever relationship we have with them now is their karma. And this is why so many of us are in a place where we are going no contact, because you have to hold them accountable. If you are truly an agent of the Most High, if you are truly an earth angel, if you are truly a light worker, you need to get the fuck out of the way of justice happening and justice being served for the people who are corrupt, who are not meeting the criteria that they agreed to when they came and manifested on earth. And yes, you can still have compassion for these people, but let me tell you something. It's not your job to take on their sins. It's their job to deal with their karma. Karma is the Sanskrit word for action. They chose to do what they chose to do because they have free will. I say it this way. I never saw a drunk person that I thought to myself, you know something? I better copulate with that person. I better bump nasties with that person, let's say, because it's not attractive. So it's never the fault of the person who's drunk that somebody forced themselves upon them non-consensually. What the fuck is wrong with you that you would want to have sex with somebody who is so drunk, that they can't even consent? Please make that make sense. You can't, because it doesn't. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. You feel me? So stop making excuses for the people who hurt you. A reason is not an excuse. I can understand the reason why people do the things that they do. And that doesn't excuse them or let them off the hook. 1, 2, 2, 3 on the clock. And I see another 12 here, so that's giving 12, 12. That doesn't let them off the hook. Okay, we are at the completion of these karmic cycles for the jobs that we came here to do, the purpose that we came here to serve. Let that old earth life go. It's clipped, yo. It's fucking clipped. With this eclipse that we just went through, it's over. Just a food question: chocolate dipped strawberries or strawberry cheesecake? That is a really good question. I really like both, but strawberries can be super cold and hurt my teeth. So I personally would say strawberry cheesecake, but the strawberry sauce can't be like fake sauce. It has to be like a strawberry compote sauce that's made from scratch. You know, thank you for that question, food guy. These are the important questions that need to be asked. But yeah, I also want to say thank you for posing that all homemade all the time, babe. All homemade all the time. We need, this weekend, I feel like we really need to be enjoying ourselves. We need to be focusing on joy and like filling ourselves up. Too much of the time, we think that things that feel good or that taste good or make us happy should be like, that's excessive. And that's just like a luxury. But it shouldn't be. We need to have small joys in life. And we also need to take pleasure in the small joys in life, because these are the things that make life worth living. Like I said earlier, we were not born to just work jobs that make us unhappy and not make enough money and constantly be struggling and constantly be stressed out. That is not what we were born to do. Okay, so take your agency back and find at least one thing today to feed yourself joy. Whether that is a little treat, because, you know, I love a little treat. Or, you know, treat yourself. Just like from Parks and Rec, treat yourself. Okay? Every day you need to find something that brings you joy. Whether it's a little piece of chocolate or whether it's a homemade, you know, strawberry cheesecake, or whether it's like going for a walk when you have not been able to get outside all week, or just finding some quiet time to sit down and look out the window. That's good enough. You have to find joy in the simple pleasures, because we're in a time right now where things are really hard externally. We are being faced with a lot of destruction, which is good actually, because the systems that we live in, need to be destroyed. But that wears on the body, it wears on the mind, it wears on the soul. We have been in a state of trauma since 2020, and we haven't been able to like get a break, to get a breath. So you need to integrate it into your life practice to find more things that bring you joy, the simple pleasures. It doesn't need to always be some big grandiose thing. I'm going on holiday out of the country. I love that for you, but that's not enough. Not in the times that we're living in. Okay? I'm getting this publishing deal. I love that for you, and I hope that that happens for you, but that's not enough. We need to have little steps along the way that bring us joy and that remind us that life is actually beautiful. If you struggle to have this understanding, what I would really recommend to you is a gratitude list. They really, truly do change lives. And when I started doing a gratitude list back in like 2016, it changed my life irrevocably. And I realized that like prior to that, I had been a bit of an ingrate. I didn't have the proper level of gratitude for the things in my life. I realized this. Nobody told me that. I realized it. And that helped me to amplify my manifestation abilities, okay? So understand that you cannot manifest effectively if you are not in a frequency of gratitude, because you know what's going to be coming to you is just more stuff that you're not grateful for. Because also it's your perspective. Like you can get everything that you want and still be ungrateful and still feel like that's not enough. You have to train yourself for it to become enough. You have to train yourself to realize and see that it is enough. Is this enough for me? That's for you to decide. Is it going to be enough or not? You feel me? So this is really quality of life stuff and lifestyle stuff that's coming up. Stop being okay with having your water filter be 3/4 of the way full. Fill up your water filter all the way. Anybody who's living a life that is 3/4 or like 1/3 of the way full, stop engaging with those people. It doesn't mean that you hate them or you think they're a piece of trash or whatnot. It just means that you have self-respect. You are who you hang out with. Even people who are not spiritual will say that. People who are wealthy and successful will tell you that. Your network is your net worth. So why are you hanging out with spiritually impoverished people? Oh, because you feel bad for them. That's mad disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful to you and disrespectful to them, because they deserve to be around people who actually want to be around them, not people who simply feel bad for them and that's why they fuck with them, because you don't really fuck with them. And that's why your relationships, that's why you yourself are going to be feeling spiritually impoverished. So whatever it is that you need to say to that person, I really encourage you to say it this weekend. I really encourage you to say it sooner rather than later. Okay, we get yes, just say yes. Say yes to joy, okay? Say yes to happiness. Say yes to peace. And, say yes to the truth, because that's what it really comes down to. The great gathering in reverse, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits soul tribe. I do feel like we're kind of in a bit of a hermit mode this weekend. I do feel also like we are being encouraged to like go out and hang out with people. I need to get water. Hold on. Man can't survive on coffee alone. Let me get my pink straw. Stay hydrated, family. Water is coming up a lot in this reading. The moon is in Cancer right now. You may have a lot of invitations to hang out, connect with new people, meet new people, talk to new people. I would really just say, like, if you're not feeling it, which a lot of us are not going to be because moon in Cancer, we're feeling highly sensitive, don't do it. It's okay. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And so I would really encourage you to just respect your own feelings and sense like your sensations in your body. Your body does not need any more stimuli. Okay, it's enough. 1, 2, 3, 1 on the clock. So you have to be willing to say no to what you don't want. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? That came out in the reverse. It's being the map is being given to you, consciousness wise. And Spirit, what is going on? What are you trying to communicate here? Because you're like stopping and starting. This person is like out in the wilderness, right? Look at this card. She's out in the wilderness. She's out in the desert. And she may think that there's no water out there, but there is. And when she actually moves from her high heart chakra, that fountain of life, it leads her to where the water is. Because like like is attracted to like, right? It's gonna go and find where that is. So, you know, the sky is expansive above her, which means that she's being let into awareness of truth, awareness of higher consciousness, higher realms of consciousness, higher ideas, philosophies, insight and information that's going to be able to help her to move to where it is she is meant to be. And I want to say, it's interesting to me that she's all the way over here and the doorway is all the way over here. And she has this light stuff that's coming off of her. It reminds me of it's not a pillar of flame. The thing that led Moses out of the desert, I think it was. Yeah, the thing that led Moses out of the desert was a thing like that was in the sky that he was following. And it was leading him out of the desert, which is why a lot of people think that the God of the Bible was a dragon. Because there's a lot of things that would indicate that it was. But that's neither here nor there. You are being led by a frequency that is extra dimensional. And it is guiding you in ways that you don't understand. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. It's guiding you in ways that you cannot conceive or comprehend because you are a human and you don't have that level of consciousness. We can only experience as much consciousness as we can in our human bodies. It's just the way that it is, and that's okay. There's no shade. You feel me? It's no shade. I don't know what it's like to be a dog. I don't understand dog consciousness. You dig? Like, I don't know what that's like. But yeah, I understand what it's like to be a human, so I don't sit here and be like, oh, I know everything there is to know in the world. I know exactly what it's like to be a dog. I know exactly what it's like to be a spider. I don't. So there's gonna just be things that I don't understand in this life, and that's okay. I don't even know everything. Even though a lot of us have experienced like trauma and experiences that have made us hyper independent. And when you're hyper independent, you have to feel like you know everything. That's a big ass burden to carry around. That's a big ass burden to carry around. I suggest to you to put that down. I suggest to you to let that go. So you may be experiencing challenges, trials, and tribulations in your life right now. You don't know what to do with that information. You don't know how to engage with that energy. And I'm going to encourage you to put down the burden of knowing and being responsible to it. And, you know, whatever anybody is projecting onto you, put all that shit down and lean into the liberation that comes with surrender. Your higher power has got you. Your higher power is guiding you to where you need to go. Are you willing to listen? Relieve yourself. You got to release to relieve. Release yourself from the burden. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming in order to fit in? This came out in the reverse. Honestly, right now, I feel like it is time for us to keep it low-key, and keeping it low-key doesn't mean, like, you're dimming yourself to fit in. Keeping it low-key means, like, honestly, I feel like there are people who are, like, actively attempting to prey upon you, and they just want your energy still so badly, and you just have to be like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I'm not with the shits. Okay? You have to be willing to be the person who says that and who makes that distinction and who puts those boundaries up. Like I said, you're a pot of honey. Like, put the honey on the pedestal and put it behind glass. You are a sacred work of art. I don't care if you think that you're ugly. I don't care if you think that you are undesirable. I don't care if you think that you're a dumbass bee. I don't care. Because the Most High doesn't think that way of you. Your great gods, guides, and ancestors don't think that way of you. So I don't care if you think that about yourself. And nobody else cares either. Nobody who's worth a damn. They see you for the value that you bring to every situation. Oh, I don't have money. Okay, so what? There's a lot of people who have a lot of money and they ain't shit. They don't bring value to the situation. All they bring is money. If that's all that you got to offer, you don't got shit to offer. I'm not interested in that. Or how are you going to help me grow? Are you even going to give me some of that? Probably not. It's time to break free of the matrix. It's time to break free, not just of the physical, because y'all continually think, oh, it's about the material, it's about the physical. No, these are ideologies. These are mindsets, because not everybody who is manifesting the material world is ruled by egoism, is ruled by greed, is ruled by scarcity mindset. That's just people who are still indoctrinated into and operating from capitalism. And this idea of needing to be in competition, needing to constantly be getting in order to survive. You don't need to do that. When you are tapped in to the higher dimensions, when you are tapped in and tuned in, and you are being guided. So like you are being guided back to your high heart chakra, from which all things flow, from which the abundance and the prosperity flows. If you know that you are a sacred energy on earth, stop telling yourself otherwise. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. Just because people treated you a certain type of way doesn't take away from your sovereignty, from your royal energy, from your divinity. You know what takes away from that? Nothing. Nothing can. Not even you. Not even you can take away from your divinity. You can choose to abdicate it for a while, for a time, but it doesn't matter because you will still be the sovereign. That's an illusion. Okay, you will always be held accountable for your actions. So I would really suggest stop trying to run away from the responsibility that comes from being the sovereign of your life and embrace it so that you can finally be in your personal power. That's what you got to do. That's what we're all being called to do. Okay? That's what we're all being called to do. You need to use your voice. You need to speak your truth. You need to be in your authenticity. You need to be in your integrity, expressing your truth. Confirmation verb. The thing of it is, like, it's scary, you feel me? Like, people are afraid to do that because we're afraid of the consequences. We're afraid of being blamed for the things that people did to us. You know, we're afraid of being held accountable for things that we didn't want to happen. 1240 is on the clock, and that feels really important for whatever reason. That comes down to the number 7 in numerology, which is it is the spiritual nexus, coming together of the spirit realm and the material realm. You are blessed and highly favored. You are supported in your mission, and just because in life you didn't have support doesn't mean that that is not. Like, in the material world, you didn't have support, but you did have support in the spiritual realms, okay? Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. You already did that. So, you know, it's over. That cycle is over. Stop going back. Stop giving them your power. And you know what's standing out to me is this cliff where, you know, I'm sure you've seen the videos of, like, hawks and eagles going and, like, picking up goats on sides of mountains and picking them up and tossing them off of the mountain because they're gonna eat them later. That's what's gonna happen, and that's what I feel is happening. Like, Capricorn is like the goat, right? And eagles, birds are associated with spirit. And I feel like spirit, like, we have angelic helpers. We have high vibrational blue avian helpers. There's a lot of purging going on right now. and it may be really uncomfortable. One of my clients told me that like she started her cycle 2 weeks early and her hormones are going crazy since the eclipse. The stuff that like we've been purging all along, like it's really going full force now. This is part of the reason why it's kind of a hermit weekend. Drink a lot of water, you know, get a lot of antioxidants in your system. Natural antibiotics like garlic are gonna also be helpful. And just get a lot of rest, eat a lot of leafy greens and like vegetables and stuff like that. And that's gonna really help in this time, okay? I don't remember what I was saying before I started doing light language. Oh, yeah, these energies, like the Capricorn is the devil, right? So these entrenched, the devil in Major Arcana Tarot. These entrenched systems are being removed. We have angelic helpers in the spirit realms coming in and doing that work. Yeah, you may be an earth angel. You may be part of God's special little army, but that doesn't mean that you have to do this yourself. You don't have to do this mission by yourself. You have your ancestors, angels, and spirit guides who are coming in and who are helping to remove these entrenched systems and dynamics of exploitation and disempowerment. Okay, so understand that. The crumbling, what are you clinging on to exactly? The crumbling in this deck is the Tower. And it is a Tower moment that is very, very positive for those of us who are here to clear out the I want to use a phrase that is going to be like very loaded in a negative way, but like to drain the swamp, essentially, to clear out all of the sickness and the disease. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about with purging. So that's what we're getting. And I keep shuffling and I keep getting break the chain over and over again. Okay. We get Star Mother when I split the deck. And just understand that you are cared for. Choose to believe in an unconditionally loving higher power, an unconditionally loving creator. Like, choose to believe in that, because whether or not it's true, if you choose to believe it, that's what it is for you. And at the very least, your consciousness is going to inform your life with that energy, whether it is or isn't true, because what you believe does have impact. Okay, so we're going to get some final messages from today's word with 𝗪cie𝗪𝗃, which is chi. That's how it's said. 31 daily reminders to help you get through. Chi is a continuous wellness journey centering self-discovery and self-care through intentional experiences that allow you to meet your best selves. We welcome you to be a part of a community grounded in growth and healing. So let's get a word from this deck. And you can purchase this deck on Etsy. And her TikTok is that. All right, Spirit, what do you want us to communicate for the energy of today? We get, you have all the tools you need. You are supported. You are protected. You are seen. You are heard. You are loved. You are abundant. You are stable. All things are working in your favor. You do not lack. You choose joy, and joy chooses you. Okay, exactly. This is the energy that is so necessary today. Don't give up. The journey will test your faith. Believe in yourself. Some days are sunshine and others are storms. Whatever the forecast of the day is, take care of yourself. Asterisk. Protect your peace by equipping yourself with the tools that will get you through the day. You've got this. Wear sunscreen when the sun is out and use an umbrella to keep yourself dry when it's raining. Like I said, right now it's a spiritual rain. It's a spiritual storm. We see that there's this tower moment that's going on collectively, and it's not hitting the righteous, like it is hitting the corrupt, and that is taking their power away and giving it back to where it belongs. This leveling, this justice, this time of judgment that's happening. And so we need to have a spiritual umbrella up, and that is whatever is necessary to keep us from getting down on ourselves, down on others, down vibrationally. So I think that's pretty much all that I have for you all. Give your perspective the space to expand past the limitations that you've been conditioned to accept as unchangeable. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Things in the past are in the past. It is what it is, not what it was, okay? Just because you were made to think that life was going to be one way doesn't mean anything. You don't have to believe that it's always going to be like that, okay? You need to choose yourself first. Stop putting other people's needs before your own. That's disrespectful. Okay, you deserve to accomplish all your goals. You deserve to accomplish. Remember that the next time doubt and or procrastination attempt to take a seat at the table of your success. And the person who made this deck is a Leo double Virgo. So 31 daily reminders to help you get through. Okay. Spirit, are there any other messages? And it comes in this really cute bag. And here is an info sheet. It's a sticker. And this little card here. And then it also comes with a complimentary crystal. Let's see which crystal I got. I think it's amethyst. And these are hand packaged also. Yes, I got an amethyst point. Love a good amethyst point. And there's something else in here. What is it? Ooh, I think it's an incense stick. It is. I'm gonna burn it right now. It smells beautiful. Yes. And I'm going to just smoke cleanse. And smoke cleanse for all of you. Okay, so there might be a tendency to get a little bit overly negative this weekend. And it goes beyond the point of being realistic to, like I said, being negative. And you want to do your best to just avoid that. Take it all in stride. Ask for help when you need it. And, decline when you don't. Maybe even accept when you don't need it. You don't only have to need it. It's like, if someone's offering to help you out and it's like, I can do it myself. Do I want to? I don't have to. It's just one thing that you want to consider. So go ahead and grab this deck from 𝗪cie on Etsy and follow her page on TikTok. I love you all truly and deeply. I really do feel like those are all of the messages that are coming through. And I'll see you on the flippity flip. Peace.